We have a bunch of books to talk about today. I mean, just look at all of these. Would you believe me if a year ago I told you I only had 1 or 2 crochet books? Regardless, I think it's safe to say that my collection has grown just a tad since then. Today we're specifically talking about amigurumi related books, and most of these books are filled with tons of cute stuffed toys and creatures, but there is one book on this list that's a bit of an exception. But chances are, if you like amigurumi, you are going to love all of the books that I'm going to be sharing with you today. Each of these books revolves around its own unique theme, whether it be the techniques that are being used or the style of patterns included. Today, I am going to break it all down for you in my ultimate amigurumi crochet book haul. So grab a crochet project, get comfy, and let's talk about some books. Amigurumi Critters by Amy from Curious Papaya is the newest book that we're going to be talking about today, having just released in June of this year. And despite this being a recent release, it has quickly become one of my favorite crochet books. This is one of the larger crochet books that I have in my collection, and I think it is because of the amount of detail on specific techniques, which really makes this great for all skill levels. I have been crocheting since 2018 and I still have learned a few new techniques in this book thanks to Amy's expertise. The patterns range from her classic Gertrude the Grumpy Chick, which is absolutely adorable by the way, to some really unique patterns that I found to be super refreshing and fun to work up. With the amount of crocheting that I do, I always get really excited when I get to make something in a way that I never have before, and that's exactly what this book did for me. One of my favorite patterns in this book is Poppy the Pig, and I don't think I've ever crocheted a 4-legged animal quite like I did this one, and I really enjoyed it. The pig is a really quick project, but somehow it doesn't lack any detail at the same time. I made mine with Loops and Threads Skinny Chenille, and I just love how cute and itty bitty it turned out. And if you like the pig pattern, chances are you're really gonna like the pug pattern as well, because they have a similar body style, but I just think the pug is so cute. So of course, Amigurumi Critters gets my stamp of approval as one of the very best amigurumi crochet books on the market. The variety of patterns in this book just makes it such a crowd pleaser, and I can guarantee that you're going to learn some new techniques along the way just like I did. When I get the chance to dive into a crochet book and make something fun, one of the very last things that's on my mind is getting any chores done. Whether it's grocery shopping, cleaning, or meal prepping, I'm not thinking about any of it when I'm crocheting. But thanks to the sponsor of today's video, Wildgrain, my life just got 10 times easier. Gone are the days when I attempt to make bread from scratch for the week, only to waste half of the day and end up with a flat rock to eat. Wildgrain is the first bake from frozen subscription box for sourdough breads, artisanal pastries, and fresh pastas. They work with small bakers and pasta makers from all over the country to keep the tradition of artisanal and nutritious food alive. Wildgrain subscription boxes are fully customizable and suit a variety of individual needs, whether you are plant-based, gluten-free, or just wanting to try a little bit of everything like myself. All items bake in 25 minutes or less, which means more time crocheting, less time shopping and baking, which I absolutely love. The Wildgrain sourdough is one of my absolute favorites because if you've tried to make sourdough yourself, you know how tricky it can be. Wildgrain uses a slow fermentation process, which is easier on your belly, richer in nutrients and antioxidants, and can even help lower blood sugar spikes. And on top of all of these amazing benefits, it's much fresher and tastier than store-bought bread. If you want to check out Wildgrain for yourself, click the link in my description box below and use the code Annie at checkout for $30 off your first box and free croissants for life. Again, that's code Annie at checkout. Thank you so much to Wildgrain for being our cozy crochet sponsor. If you like no-sew crochet patterns as much as myself, you're gonna wanna make sure that you're listening up for this one. Jenna is one of my crochet friends, but she's also the author of No-Sew Mini Amigurumi. When it comes to sewing, I personally have some mixed feelings. Sometimes I don't mind sewing at all, but other times, if it's not going the way that I want it to, it can make me super frustrated super quickly. And if you're one of those people that despises sewing, Jenna's book might be the perfect crochet book for you. Instead of sewing individually individual pieces onto your plushies, Jenna will walk you through all the different ways that you can crochet them on instead. And to be completely honest with you, Jenna is the one that opened my eyes to no-sew amigurumi. And ever since I realized how amazing it is, I always strive to make my patterns as low sew or no sew as possible because I just find it to be a bit more enjoyable to work up, but also a bit more precise at times. One of my favorite patterns in the book is the no-sew possum, which I have made countless times. Jenna is currently making a giant one of these possums over on her Instagram page as a fundraiser, so I will link it below if you want to check it out. And if you're someone who likes to sell your crochet items at markets, you definitely need this book in your stash because no-sew mini projects are perfect for taking with you to markets because they work up super quickly and they're great for when you're trying to prep a bunch of items at once. So of course, no-sew mini amigurumi gets my stamp of approval as the best book for quick and easy crochet projects that you can make time and time again. So remember when I told you that one of the books on this list isn't quite like the rest of them? Well, this next book isn't exactly amigurumi, but chances are if you like amigurumi, you are going to love this one. So this book is called Crochet Bouquet by Sierra from Sierra Stitches, and with this book, you can crochet a variety of flowers and greenery to create your very own crochet bouquet. And if you're more interested in crocheting flowers or plants in pots, this book does come with a variety of pot patterns for each of the plants. I think my favorite part about this book is that you can mix and match the flowers to create countless bouquets and even make some really cute home decor in the process. I was lucky enough to be able to test several of the patterns in this book for Sierra, and it really gave me a glimpse into just how much work she really put into this book. If you've ever been interested in crocheting flowers, this book covers all of your bases and walks you through each step of the process in such a thoughtful way. And for that reason, Crochet Bouquet gets my stamp of approval as the best book for crochet flowers. It would be so wrong of me to not talk about this next book because I am constantly talking about how she is one of my favorite amigurumi pattern designers of all time. Amigurumi Friends by All From Jade is such an amazing book. I do not know how we've never talked about it together before. What makes this book so unique is that you can create over 100 unique plushies from the 20 different patterns in this book. If you're confused, let me explain. The book comes with instructions for 5 different body styles and 20 different animals, meaning that you can make each animal with 5 different bodies. So clearly, this book comes with a lot of different options for creating unique little critters. It would take quite a while to make one of everything in this book, and since there are so many different options, I think this book is a great value. This book is also filled with QR codes that you can scan for tutorials if you're trying out a new technique. I just think that is such a thoughtful touch to add to this book because it can give a lot of crocheters the clarity they need while working up each pattern. This is anecdotal, but for the past 8 months or so, I've been including tutorial links inside of each of my patterns that I design, and I have been getting so many less questions about patterns since then. So from my perspective, I think that video tutorials are something that people really appreciate having inside of a pattern, but let me know what you think though. So with all of that being said, Amigurumi Friends gets my stamp of approval as the best value crochet book. Allison and Lindsay of Mama Made Minis have completely perfected the art of the crochet lovey. I talk a lot about how some designers have such an amazing and distinct style that you immediately know when a pattern is designed by them. Mama Made Minis is the perfect example of that. The neutral tones, knotted limbs, and color coordinated perfection are just a few of the examples as to what makes their designs truly stand out. In their book, Knotted Loveys, you will find 16 crochet patterns to create their signature knotted loveys in a variety of animals. Knotted Loveys is the perfect book if you're looking to make some cute crochet plushies for children. Loveys make the cutest gift, and thanks to them being made with blanket yarn, they're super easy to throw in the wash. And for that reason, Knotted Loveys gets my stamp of approval as the most unique amigurumi crochet book. So these were just 5 of many crochet books that I hope to share with you in the future. There are some very exciting releases coming soon in the amigurumi world from designers like Atomic Crochet and Gibeon's Crafty that I am so looking forward to. I want to let you in on a little secret, and it's something I don't think I've talked about literally anywhere, but believe it or not, it is such a dream of mine to be able to publish my own crochet book one day. I have so many ideas in my head, and I just hope that we are able to bring them all to life together one day. So today we're speaking it into existence, maybe? Who knows? We'll have to see what the future brings. Either way, I would love to have you along for the ride, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know which amigurumi book we talked about today was your favorite in the comments, and don't forget to check out the link in my description to get $30 off your first Wildgrain box and free croissants for life, because who doesn't want to miss that? I literally just had one for breakfast this morning. It was so good. Which reminds me, thank you so much again to Wildgrain for sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!